It's that Tru Chronicles, it's that Tru Chronicles. Yeah, we on your talking shit, we on your talking facts, we on your talking truth, we ain't telling no lies, we speaking all this facts. On that Tru Talk, on that Tru Talk, the Tru Chronicles, the Tru Chronicles. Just talking shit, just talking shit, just talking shit,
What's going on? How you doing? Look, I hope your day's been going good. Hope all is well. Hope you've been taking care of yourself. First off and fucking foremost, thank you and welcome back to another episode of the Tru Chronicles, hosted by yours truly, Dre the Truth. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope that you come back every day for another episode here on the Tru Chronicles. And I just want to simply let you, as a new listener, know that this is a safe space. So you can unwind, kick back, chill, and relax. Because that's what we bring here. We bring a vibe, a fucking vibe. This is a judgment-free zone. So you're allowed to just come and relax and just step into a worry-free zone is what we provide here. Is what I provide here for those that listen. And as we go straight into the topic, or move straight into a topic, I should say, go ahead, roll up something, grab a drink, because this is a very, very interesting topic that we're going to just be speaking on and just diving a little deep into. And what we're diving deep into is the fact of fear. And why is it so in the seat of one's energy? Why does it get so much attention when fear is a choice? It's a choice for anybody. It's the choice for you to feel in fear or not to feel in fear. But I think what it specifically boils down to is one's restraint against their own direction of where they want their energy to go. It's a holdback. I know you know that you're capable of doing whatever the fuck you want to do. But I think fear is an scapegoat. It gets more attention than it really deserves. It doesn't deserve to be seen. It doesn't deserve to be present. It's the enabler, really, that a lot like to give energy into. You like to enable something that isn't even there to hold you back from what you can do and what's possible for you to do. Excuse me. And I'm speaking from a place of experience, because fear had its hold on me at a point in my life, very strong, but it had a hold on me in which it it didn't play to me being scared of anything, but it played to me being worried about others and less about myself. Played to a point in where fear gets you to overthink a lot. Gets you to overthink. It gets you to worry. It gets you to be scared. The scarcity of what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, or what has already happened before then. It moves you out of the present and doesn't allow you to stay in the now. See, I'm big on the now. I'm big on just being. But how can we be when we're shoved with fear-based media and fear-based tactics on a day-to-day? We never even get a chance to breathe because fear is always suffocating us. It's always having the one up on us entirely. I mean, everywhere you go, you're always seeing death. You're always seeing something that's prone to have you more safely succumb to being held back from moving forth and doing what you really want to do, because the choice is always to let fear be in the high seat. But fear doesn't have any power over you. Fear doesn't dictate or rule what you can do and what you're possible of doing. What is possible for you to be doing. And I think that's where the realization comes in, that fear is an illusion, that fear isn't real, and it only exists because one's mind allows it to. Just take, for instance, if you were asked to just hit your hand on the table, just to hit your hand on the table, would you just automatically do it, or would you hesitate? Now, if you hesitate, something's causing the hesitation, which is meaning something is causing you to not allow full control for you to do, and just to do without even worrying about the outcome. See, fear plays that. Fear plays so much of the enabler that decides whether or not you do something or not. And if you choose to not do it, then the outcome could be what you don't even know to happen. Sure, we know that hitting your hand on the table, you're gonna feel pain, but it's the fact that you play so much into the pain part, you play so much into what's going to happen, is what you stray away from. You'll stray away from not hitting your hand on the table because the fear of you feeling the pain, or the fear of what's going to happen when your hand hits the table. And no, I'm not saying just go around banging your hand on shit, but I'm just simply getting you to understand and understand where the point of view I'm trying to make is that one can't keep continuing to hold themselves back from what may exist to happen, but you won't know because of the worries and the lingering intrusive thoughts that mess up the outcome of what is to happen in the now. Your greatest version of yourself can only take place if you step out of fear and you step out of hesitation and think less about you think less about that seed of pain that you'll feel if your hand did hit the table and you felt the pain, but it was the fact that there was no hesitation, there was no drawback, there was no seat of fear in place to take control of the choice you made. The choice you made was simply the choice to hit your hand on the table and let yourself be in the moment. Regardless of what came afterwards, you decided to make a choice and not worry about what happened next. And see, fear doesn't like that because it doesn't want to feel like you need without it. Fear wants to always be a ruler, wants to be in control of how you use your energy and where it's used. For example, some of the most talented, interesting beings that you'll ever meet work a 9 to 5. Some of the most talented people in the world, and they don't even know it, work a 9 to 5. But a 9 to 5 is for another episode. I will dive deep into this one, but we just using this as more of an example, being fear holds you back when you work a 9 to 5. It keeps you in a place where your energy is not being used to its best potential. It doesn't mean that you don't have the creative spark lying within you working a 9 to 5, but it's just sort of regulated to where the energy isn't at its full capacity. It's not fully, you're not fully capable of doing all of what you want to do because you're tied into a 9 to 5 that cuts the energy in half. And where half goes to the 9 to 5 and then the other half goes to what you personally want to create. And fear is what ties into what holds you back from being fully 100% in the seat of your creativity and your energy being directed in the way that you or one wants to direct it. Now, looking at fear in a way where, not to say that fear is all the way 100% bad, because I'm an alchemist. So everything that lies to be good isn't always good, and everything that lies to be bad isn't always bad. Fear does have key points that emphasize structure. One such as awareness. Being that fear does get you to critique one's awareness to be more inhibited to be in the seat of focus, yes. Because you can be aware to a situation that is a little bit too much to bear. Not necessarily saying you're fearing the situation, but it's to be where I don't want to go this way with it. Just like a pool pit of crocodiles. Your awareness is to see that the fear of a pool of crocodiles is not an area where I want to be. I don't want to be walking towards crocodiles. So that direction will play you away from that, because you'll see and focus to see that this area is very it's a little too thick over here. It's a little too fucking thick over here, And I think I need to get my ass away from here. You're not in fear, but you're aware of where fear lies. And that pushes you away from a situation. And that's where you have to see how fear works to your advantage and not you to it. And it's all about tapping into yourself, which a lot of that will be said here. Majority of every episode is finding yourself, finding who you are, because you have to know who you are. It's the only way that you can become any bit of who you want to be in this world, in this crazy, crazy, mixed up world. Identities are being found each and every day, but the question is, have you found yours? I'm still searching with my identity. But I know one thing, I feel safe here. Speaking my truth, expressing my truth, sharing my truth allows me to free myself from fear. And that's the mindset you must keep when wanting to free oneself from fear. Or at least pushing fear aside to take control of your own seat and one's energy to incorporate it by your hands and your hands only. See, nothing's out of your control and nothing's behind you and nothing's far out of reach. Everything is right where it needs to be, because you are simply everything that you see, touch, smell, and hear. And I don't think that we grasp that a lot, to know how wonderful it is to just be simply vastly nothing. Even fear itself doesn't really weaponize one's existence, because how can you when I don't even exist? I don't simply have a permanent stay here on earth, nor does anybody. We all will leave the same way we came. And that's another huge hold on to fear. It's death itself. When you have to break that either way, you like it or not. But some feel as though like they're here to stay forever, which allows fear to gain most of their energy, because they don't think they'll ever die. They don't think that they'll ever leave the avatar. Well, damn. I have to say that's a lot of energy consumption for one entity to hold, because it's inevitable. We all will fade away. Mankind has known to show this, that everything fades to evolve into something new. Change is inevitable. So you thinking that you being able to stay and live a long, permanent life on earth is bound to be in the cards for anybody, when that's a part of change. That's a part of ridding the old and bringing in the new. We all must go through those phases of being washed away and allowing a new current to set ashore. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going away from here, but you travel back to where you came from. You move into the next space of your existence. And the one thing that I enjoy the most to simply bring in on this topic is that those who are awakening, those that are seeing that fear is an illusion and that it's propaganda and its displayment is now falling to fade because of the simple fact that one's energy is being taken back by self and allowing self to be fearless, which aligns to power being back in place and within the center core of the soul and spirit. So the question is, am I going to allow fear to keep me from who I am truly meant to be? Well, are you? Well, are you? And I would hope not, because fear can only be running your life if it is given the consent of one's energy. And I do not consent. Nor should you. Nor should you. Whew. Very interesting topic indeed. And as we're bringing this episode to an end, I simply want to give gratitude to you, gratitude to everybody on their journey, and everyone thus far that is breaking away from fear and becoming fearless. And I hope you listening have picked up from this episode a little bit more about how fear does not regulate anything. I just want to thank you again for tuning into another episode of the Tru Chronicles. This has been your host, Dre the Truth. Hold tight, we're not going to leave yet. The instrumental of the day is about to get to rock out, so please stay, vibe with me as we close this bitch out. And I just want to say again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a marvelous, blissful day, and I'll catch you again in the next one.